Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and a one-page Pinks and Teals weekly. If this sort of layout floats your doodle boat, then don't forget to drop this video a like and consider subscribing, as we definitely talk about stationery a lot here. But one item that does not need an introduction on my channel is my trusty Bic mechanical pencil. I pencil out most of my layouts when I have the time, and it certainly makes life easier. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to draw in some little love hearts that break up my daily headers. So I'm going to do a 4x4 box grid, and on the top two boxes is where I'm going to go around the outside, and I'm going to mirror that on the right hand side, and then I'm going to use the bottom two boxes to come down into a point. At the top of this layout, I have a word of the week. I did a Hamilton spread a couple of weeks back and the word was my shot, technically two, don't judge me. But this week we're going on a mini holiday break, so the word of the week is holiday. Once I've sketched in the H and I'm happy with the sizing, I can put in a few extra guidelines to keep me on the straight and narrow, and then I can go in and sketch out the rest of the letters. Now, because this is pencil, it means that I can go back and forth lots of times and take this as a sketching exercise, lots of little strokes to build up that word. Play around with it as you're doing your lettering. The first stroke you put down in no way needs to be the one that you then outline with a black fine liner. There is a benefit to using pencils, and I strongly recommend that you play around until you're happy with how it looks. For outlining, I'm going for a slightly rounded approach. So I'm not going to go for a very sharp corner when I'm outlining. I'm going to try and avoid that and just go for a very slight rounded. Not a full roundness, we're not going for school bubble writing, but just a soft roundness just to really help bring the word together. I mean, I put it on a post-it note for you guys. I worry sometimes when I'm doing this and voiceover later that the things in my head as I'm doing it, thoughts and things that I want to share with you, I lose. This was one of those moments. So as I was doing it, I thought, quick, get a post-it, put an example on. Let me know how you feel about the post-it note tips. We'll see if they make a comeback in the future. So now I can move on to outlining, and for this I'm using the Micron outliner. Outliner's not the word, is it? What's it called? Fine liner. I'm falling out of love with my Micron, if I'm being honest with you. Its smudging is starting to really get me down. I mean, that's a bit extreme. It's not getting me down, it's getting on my nerves. So for this layout, the top dot line is where I write the word in holiday. 2 dot spaces below that, I kick in on the right hand side my dailies, and they're 8 dot spaces in length on each side, other than Monday, which is clearly 10 dot spaces because of the top line being the holiday one. So I can go in and outline all of what I've done. I quite like this style for having the lines in, but having those circles on either end. It means when it comes to colouring, it's just that little extra bit of colour, which really helps to bring a layout together, especially if, like me, you're going to do a contrasting colour. To set the colour tone up and to get colour in straight away, I'm going in with a nice thick brush pen. This one is the Dingbats 80 pen. And on my to-do list, I'm going to highlight every other line. It adds colour instantly, and it means then that I can start to pick the other colours that I'm going to work around it. But if we're going for colourful layouts, which, I mean, you're watching my video, so you definitely should be here for colourful layouts, this is a great and easy way to start us off. To contrast with this, I'm going to go with a little darker pink, which is from the Bic Colour Kids Pen range. Yes, it is a kids colouring pen. No, I don't apologise in the slightest. No bleeds, water-based, and cheap as you like. So I'm going to go in and colour in the love hearts, my little holiday bit. I begin to do the circles on the edge and then think, what are you doing? Contrast. It's all about the contrast. So I've switched and I've gone for a nice teal before I attempt some freehand brush lettering. I've reached that stage in my brush lettering practice where I've started to become a bit cocky, maybe a little bit too much, but I now think I can just open the page and just, whap out a good old brush lettering attempt. I kind of can, I kind of can't. It's definitely still a work in progress. But, and here's my issue with brush lettering. So I put this in, suddenly it's too light. So I've gone back in and I'm having to double colour. I then look at it again and think, no, I need that black outline in my life, which I think coming from where I've come from, which is learning to faux brush letter, so drawing out brush lettering and then colouring it in. The benefit for me is that I get a black outline and I love that look. I can't help myself. I'm sorry. So effectively, I've done all that brush lettering, and what I do is go back in and black outline all over it. I think for me, it's just how the spread looks at the end of it. If I'd have left it just with no outline, I feel that the headers get lost. Whereas with a black outline, they stand out, they look pretty, they look beautiful. I don't know. I mean, what's your take? When you're doing brush lettering, what's the take with outlining afterwards? Let's have a little chat about that down below and we'll move on, shall we? So I strongly advocate when you're doodling at the bottom of your journal, your wrist is going to really struggle because it's lower than where you're drawing. So grab something of equal thickness and stick it in there and suddenly it's like the page has extended. Great if you don't want wibbly doodles. Don't say I didn't tell you. So I'm going to go in and add a little notes box down in the corner, and I can't help myself. I have to grab my Faber-Castell redline markers and just do a little bit of outlining. But this is definitely my week finished, so I'm excited to go in and start using this. For me now, August is starting to shape up really well in terms of all of my pages. So I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.